using Taiwan, weaponizing the issue to contain China's rise. It also adds the narratives that somehow Taiwan is not a security matter. It is a forefront between the democracy versus authoritarianism fight narrative globally, and therefore the U.S. is mobilizing not only Japan and Australia to come to aid Taiwan, which is unprecedented arrangement at the moment, but also calling for NATO to divert itself to the Asia Pacific or Indo-Pacific region with Germany, France, Britain, sending aircraft carriers to the Taiwan Strait. Just think about it from Beijing's perspective. They feel very what we call, and they also are fearing Taiwan's going to move and use this as an excuse, as a guarantee of some sort to move on to interdependence.
In that context, David, you have said that the United States needs to be more clear in its support of Taiwan, that you're calling for strategic clarity. What would that look like in the face of what Wen Ranjiang is describing right now?
Sure. Well, first, I just want to push back a little bit with that characterization. I mean, I don't think that the United States is weaponizing Taiwan, and I actually think that this is a response to worrying developments on the mainland. So when you look at the PLA's rapid military modernization, they are laser focused on, number one, being able to conduct an invasion of Taiwan, and number two, preventing the United States from coming to Taiwan's aid. So you look at all of the developments by the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, we're talking about thousands of ballistic missiles just opposite Taiwan, and they can hit all of Taiwan's runways and major infrastructure during a conflict. We're looking at the development of anti-ship ballistic missiles that can hit U.S. aircraft carriers so that the United States cannot come close to Taiwan during a conflict. So the military balance in the Taiwan Strait is widening every year because Taiwan cannot keep up with the expenditures that the Chinese have. So the United States needs to adjust its approach to maintain deterrence in the Taiwan Strait. You know, my response to the notion that the United States is ratcheting up tensions would be that if China did not increase its military budget as it has been and is not so focused on the Taiwan scenario, we would not feel the need to change our approach to maintain deterrence and to ensure that Taiwan can defend itself. In terms of your...
Continue, but what that would actually look like, and then I'll get a response from Wen Ranjiang.
Yeah, so in terms of the question about strategic clarity, I mean, since 1979, the United States has had a posture of strategic ambiguity, which is that under our domestic law, the Taiwan Relations Act, we provide weapons to Taiwan, and we have to maintain the ability to come to Taiwan's defense, but we don't actually say that we would come to Taiwan's defense. And that has really been focused on two things. Number one, deterring China from using Taiwan, but also deterring Taiwan from declaring independence and going too far to provoke China. I believe, though, that the greatest risk right now is Chinese miscalculation over Taiwan. I worry that Xi Jinping saw what happened in Crimea, where we took part of Ukrainian territory that was supposed to push back from the West. You mentioned Hong Kong earlier, and I think that Xi Jinping is quite amazed at how much pushback there was. He essentially crushed democracy in Hong Kong. He sees the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and President Trump questioning whether we should come to our NATO allies' defense. And he might conclude that there will be a small cost to pay should he invade Taiwan, or that he can bear those costs and they're going to be short-term in nature. So I believe we need to adjust our policy accordingly and make clear to Xi Jinping that we would respond to Chinese aggression against Taiwan and that we would not let such aggression stand.
Wen Ranjiang, what would the effect of that be for China if there were a full-throated defense from the United States, or at least a statement saying that it would defend Taiwan in the face of Chinese aggression?
Well, the Taiwan Strait, back in 1950, at the start of the Korean War, the U.S. 7th Fleet blocked potential Chinese taking over of Taiwan because U.S. had the military strength. In the past 40 years, U.S. could maintain its strategic ambiguity, as David correctly described, also because of the U.S. military strength the balance of power does not favor China doing anything. Now, with the Chinese overall economic and military strength from strengthening, the United States should communicate better other than saying we will stop from the aggression and communicating with Beijing the perception or intimidation that it does not want to contain China's rise with Taiwan models tools for weaponization. But the bottom line is that Americans on the theater-wide confrontation with China geographically does not have advantages. As being pointed out by many, that 18 war games professionally done by the Pentagon every time the United States lost. So therefore, an open declaration of will to defend Taiwan is simply not enough. The United States needs to have the military strength it no longer has to contain China, and therefore the best means to avoid a war that will ruin Taiwan and defeat both United States and China is better to communicate on both sides through diplomatic means and de-escalation. Assistant Secretary of Defense Chad Freeman clearly pointed out.
We just have a few minutes left. How concerned are you? Let's go both this one, first. This seems to be escalating. This seems to be marching toward something. And that the further along we get, the more difficult it is to draw a line in the sand and not cross that line. Wenran,
I think both sides need to realize that there's no winners in the war because they're actually on both sides hawks in China and more still in the United States. They think they could actually use the issue to defeat China and therefore to end China's rise. I think that's extremely very dangerous. I'm sure David is not in that position because he, in his article with Richard Haas, were against the ambiguity on the One China policy issue. Both sides need to de-escalate and communicate, not thinking in military terms one side would actually prevail. And the Chinese side is similarly dangerous. The Hawks think they could actually fight and win over the United States because of their local advantage. There will be no winners. So the best way forward is actually to de-escalate, both sides kind of back down a bit and Biden and Xi are suddenly they will abide to the Taiwan agreement, generally referred to as the agreement in the last 40 years. That actually
last minute or so that we have, how does this move forward to de-escalate to Wenran's point that there are no winners?
So I think that, first of all, we should recognize that Taiwan's leadership has actually acted quite responsibly in the face of all of this coercion from China. We just published a major article from President Tsai Ing-wen in our magazine Foreign Affairs, and she said that Taiwan is adventurous even in the face of Chinese threats. So I actually think that under leadership in Taiwan, we would be less responsible. There would be a greater possibility that things could get out of control. But I think that Taiwan has done its best to not fuel tensions. And really, when you look at what's happening, it is basically TRC actions, Chinese coercion, and Taiwan really has not done much to respond in kind or to escalate. So I think that that's something we should all take note of. And so what we should do, though, I think that it's good that our National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, met with Yang Jiechi in Switzerland this week. I'm sure that he delivered a stern warning over Taiwan and not to continue doing what the Chinese are doing. I hope that President Biden delivers a similar message to Xi Jinping. But in the end, rhetoric only gets you so far, and I hope that the United States actually puts its money where its mouth is and starts shifting its military assets to Asia, does more with Japan, more with Australia, and makes clear that it has not only the will to defend Taiwan, but it also has the capability to defend Taiwan, because for deterrence you need both.
Right. We'll have
and
to.
I agree that right now deterrence is eroding, and we need to do more to establish.
We'll have to leave it there. David Sachs, thank you very much, and Wenran Jiang, thank you very much as well.
Thank you.
You're listening to The Current on CBC Radio 1. We're back in 90 seconds. Stay with us.
growth of over 60,000. The last time Canada had an employment gain this large was in June of this year, 2021, with 231,000 new jobs. As a result of last month's numbers, the federal unemployment rate dropped to 6.9% from 7.1%. Food banks across the GTA have been busy during the pandemic, and as the need grows, organizations are looking to more fresh food options and micro-farms. You can find more details on this story on our website at cbc.ca/Toronto. But listen to CBC Radio 1. The weather forecast now for Toronto: cloudy with fog patches dissipating this morning, a high of 21. Tonight, cloudy late this evening with the chance of showers overnight and a low.
Thank you, sir.
Tomorrow, cloudy, 60% chance of showers, a high of 21.
You have a good day.